Hello my loves, welcome back. My name's Sarah, if you're new here. So I'm in a beautiful spot today in Glastonbury. It's a weird temperature. I've been spraying the skies, and what's coming through is a conversation around power, because essentially the dismantling in the collective that's happening right now, which is the direct expression of the feminine restoration, or the restoration of frequency, energy, vibration back to its rightful, respected, acknowledged place, right? And part of that transition is the dismantling of the power over structure. The patriarchy is a lot of conversation around it, and a lot of it's reduced to men and women, but actually patriarchy is an ideology that has affected the whole of humanity and damaged both sexes and damaged the very connection to the earth and the way of a natural, organic way of being. So the ideology of patriarchy is being dismantled. Patriarchy is a power over structure. Now, what I'm witnessing, and in myself as well, is this very fine, subtle crumbling. In other words, as this happens on a global scale, on a planetary scale, on a bodily scale, and the structure, right? This is so beautiful here. And the structure of that energetic ideology, right, and how it's been anchored in. That is a mass structure, but it's also filters down to the microcosm, which is within us. It's how we are the microcosm, our body, our consciousness, and how those structures remain held in place and remain dominant and in control is when they are within us, and human beings are naturally, unconsciously functioning from that ideology, from those thoughts, beliefs, perspectives, ways of being that uphold the ideology. Now, the power over structure is within all of us. It's within all of us. It's within how we think, how we operate, how we move, how we feel. It's reflected in our own individual consciousness. For women especially, because the feminine is the one that's been the inferior. Patriarchy favours the masculine, right? So they, in that structure, in that ideology, they are the superior, they're the dominant, they're the oppressor, or whatever you want to look at it, however you want to look at it, like that. So when one group has all the power, the other group is controlled through that and has to go through. So in other words, when women, the feminine, convinced that the feminine magic, the intuition, the wisdom, the sensitivity is nothing, it's worthless, it's inferior, women have had to go through men for their power. Now, when I say power, I mean energy, I mean life force, I mean resources, everything, and that includes money. Women traditionally have had to go through men or a system for all of their resources, for their sense of self, for their sense of security, their sense of safety, their sense of belonging, and their very resources. So it's beyond survival. Yes, it's physical resources, being dependent on men, having to go through that for power. Now, when you subjugate a whole species or group in that way, it's a natural outcome that group will become manipulative to get their needs met, that you have to survive. So all of these past old patterns and constructs are woven into our psyche, into the way that we think and behave. And that's what's up for review now, because it has to be. Because as this power over construct, as a way of being of humanity crumbles, it necessarily has to realign. The realignment, the transition that's happening, the crumbling is within. So everywhere that we have looked outside of ourselves for our power will be highlighted. Everywhere that we seek through an error in thought that we have no power to externally maneuver ourselves, to externally get something. And this is a thought pattern that is woven through humanity. What do I get out of this? You'll see it in relationships, very subtly, through obligation, expectations, transactional, conditional exchanges between people, and automatic assumptions or expectations that if you do something for somebody, they have to do something back, or vice versa. Someone offers you something, you can't just receive without thinking, what do I have to give back? What do I have to do for this? All of those automatic things that come up in us are a result of the power over structure, where we've always had to live a transactional reality. And the value of things has been defined by, the worth and value has been defined by exterior false constructs of what is valuable in life, right? What really matters. So in this rebalancing that's happening, we are all being asked to look at where we have transactional dynamics within us, where we love conditionally, where we find it very difficult to receive, where we have an attitude of taking, or what do I get out of this when we go into something, where we find it very hard to openly and equally collaborate with others without the energy of competition or comparison sneaking in. So all of these things within us are being they're highlighted right now. They're highlighted in our relationships, in our friendships, where we always feel like somebody wants something back, or things are not quite freely given, where things are not transparent and there's stuff left in secrecy and little dark spaces. It all needs to be unearthed. And we are the ones, through our vessel, through our willingness to think, speak and show up differently, we are the ones who are, through that action, consciously midwifing the process of the dismantling and the formation of the new ways of being, the new ways of thinking, the new ways of communicating, the new ways of interacting with each other. And this is something that we're really learning right now in the conscious community, and in conscious spaces where people are actively building this new earth frequency. What we're having to learn is how to live with each other again, how to resolve conflict in a new earth way. Nobody knows that yet, because we're only just getting here. People have been resolving conflict and having old relationship dynamics for so long, and we've all been creating the new as an energetic vision. Now people are coming together, and there will be periods, humans are humans. Powerful people come into spaces, there's still a few ego, shadow parts that have to work out, and all this process of bumping up against old and new is happening within us and in the groups as we form and try to, enact, bring together, collaborate in this new energy for the greater good. And that's the difference, because the crumbling of the power over structure serves the few. It's self-serving. So it's ego. It's coming from that space. It's self-serving. The new earth, frequency, communities, spaces are for the greater good. People share as stewards of energy, of love, of money, we don't own anything. We own nothing. And when we've transcended as much of our ego as necessary to realize that, to have it as a gnosis in the body, that we are here to steward the new earth, not to have. It's a different mindset, it's a different way to look at the world, to think about ourselves and the world. We used to come from that bubble of, who am I? What do I get for me, for my life? And feel separate from everything, from everyone, from the greater consciousness. So it's a complete shift. It's a complete shift from I to we. It's a complete shift into the awakened heart consciousness, which knows that everything we do must be for the greater good. It must serve everybody, not just the I or the few. So I'm sending you so much love today, because wherever these shadow pieces, expressions of the old identity that we were and always have been, and the reflection that we are of humanity and what's leaving, have the greatest amount of love, compassion and acceptance for all pieces and parts of yourself, all of it. It's a choice. If you don't want to be that anymore, how can I think, speak and act differently that's more in alignment with what I know to be true and what I wish to see? And this is where we be what we wish to see in the world. The action has to come through us. That's what it means to be a way shower. We walk first, right? So have the greatest compassion for yourself. Really, it's very, very important, because the alchemy and the integration of anything old, the resolution, comes through the loving witness, the new eyes. We keep looking at ourselves with old eyes, which is judgment, fear, doubt, shame, guilt, questions, confusion. Just going to get more of the same and feel the same. The change, the shift comes, the alchemy comes, transcendence through the ability to look at self with the deepest acceptance, neutrality, tenderness, patience. So I'm sending you so much love. We're just out of town today, but we can still see the tour. I love you, and thank you for being here. Thank you. Please do share any thoughts, share with anyone that you think conversations might benefit. I love you so much. I'm grateful for you all. There she is in the distance. And I'll see you in the next one.